The Art of Emotional Mastery, the Stoic Way, a philosophy not just to understand, but to live. Part 1. The more you suppress, the more emotion overwhelms you. We often believe that intense emotion is a sign of life, and that's true, but uncontrolled emotion is a sign of an undisciplined mind. Have you ever tried to stay calm with someone who made you furious, only to explode over one small sentence? Have you ever suppressed sadness so deeply that it leaked into your tone, in irritability, fatigue, withdrawal? We think emotional control means repression, pretending it doesn't exist. But the Stoics didn't see it that way. They didn't avoid emotion. They didn't run from it. They faced it, understood it, and navigated it through reason. Marcus Aurelius, the last great emperor of Rome's golden age, once wrote, "You have power within you to direct all outer chaos." The question is, how do you access that power? In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca trained their emotional mastery, not by denial, but by understanding the nature of emotion, so that it no longer controls them. Keep watching. What you're about to learn could transform how you meet yourself. Part 2. Emotion today isn't survival, it's social reaction. Picture an ordinary day. You wake up and are immediately thrown into a stream of texts, emails, appointments. You open your phone and see updates, news, achievements. You haven't even exhaled, yet your chest tightens, as if you're falling behind. In today's world, emotions no longer stem from survival, but from comparison, expectations, invisible pressure. You get angry when someone doesn't reply. You feel sad when no one notices your post. You panic over a 10 p.m. email from your boss that you haven't read yet. Your mind is like a small cup trying to catch a storm. The result? It overflows. Your emotions flood. You lose control. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You are not disturbed by events, but by your judgment of them." If understood deeply, this one idea will change how you live. Emotion doesn't come from the world out there. It comes from how you receive and evaluate that world. And when we haven't learned how to observe ourselves, everything external gains the power to ignite panic within. But is there a way to stop being ruled by emotions? Is it possible to live in this fast-paced world and remain inwardly calm? The answer lies in the next section. From the Stoic perspective, emotion is not the enemy. It's a signal, and we must learn to read it. Part 3, what you actually control and what you only think you do. Every one of us shares a human instinct to control outcomes. We craft the perfect message so we won't be rejected. We rehearse every word to avoid judgment. We double-check everything, fearing something will go wrong. But the more we try to control, the more we become controlled by the things we cannot hold. Other people's reactions, the weather, change, even our own moods. This is the beginning of anxiety. Epictetus, a slave-turned-philosopher, taught, "Some things are up to us, some things are not." Wisdom lies in knowing the difference. You cannot force someone to love you, but you can choose to live sincerely. You cannot change the news, but you can choose your attitude toward it. You cannot stop a wave of emotion, but you can choose not to act on it. Seneca, a statesman caught between power and tragedy, wrote, "We suffer not because of what happens, but because of how we think about it." Pause and ask, have you ever worried before anything even happened? Have you imagined the worst-case scenario and lived as though it were real? That's imagination, mistaken for reality. Marcus Aurelius pointed out, you have the right to retreat into yourself at any moment. No one can take that from you. Stoicism doesn't ask you to ignore emotion. It teaches you to distinguish between reflex and response. Reflex is instinct. Response is choice. And between them, there's a pause. The Stoic cultivates that pause. The pause to observe, to adjust, to choose. Imagine someone gets insulted. His reflex is rage, but if he pauses, even briefly, and observes, the anger loses its grip. That moment is where freedom begins. And Stoicism, at its core, is the art of living inside those moments. Part 4, you can't extinguish fire with fire, change the approach. When anxiety arises, our instinct is to push it away. But Stoics don't do that. They don't fight the wave. They learn to stand still in the water. Here are 3 practical methods. Simple, accessible, powerful. Start today. Stay consistent. You will begin to feel lighter. Sight from within. 1. Intentional breathing. Pause before you react. Epictetus once said, "Don't let your mind leap like a starving dog every time it's provoked." When anxiety rises, don't do anything yet. Just breathe. Place your hand on your belly. Inhale slowly to the count of 4. Hold. Then exhale slowly. Count 4, repeat 3 times. Those 3 cycles create just enough space for your mind to exit reflex and enter conscious response. This isn't yoga technique. It's a Stoic survival tool when facing yourself. 2. Morning journaling. Speak to your inner world before the outer world grabs you. Marcus Aurelius didn't write a book. Meditations, his most famous work, is a journal. Written to himself, he wrote to remind himself how to live. Even as the most powerful man in Rome, you can do the same. Each morning, take 5 minutes and write down 3 things. What do I want to do today with awareness? If something worries me, is it within my control? If not, how will I let it go? Write to examine your soul. Write to clear your path. Write to start your day like a Stoic warrior. 3. Voluntary discomfort. Train the will before hardship arrives. Seneca taught, don't wait for hardship to learn resilience. Train before it's needed. Each day, choose one thing that makes you slightly uncomfortable and do it with intention. Take a cold shower. Walk instead of drive. Don't touch your phone the first hour after waking up. These are small, but self-chosen discomforts build inner strength. When real adversity comes, you won't panic because you've already stood inside discomfort and stayed grounded. If any of these 3 tools resonate, you're ready to live differently. Try writing your first reflection now. And if this message feels worth sharing, click like, subscribe, or leave a note to the Stoic Bloom community. Your story may become someone else's light in the dark. Part 5, anxiety isn't the enemy. It's a message. Now stop. Place your hand on your chest. Ask yourself, when I feel anxious, what exactly am I afraid might happen? Or more precisely, what am I trying to control? That was never mine. Epictetus said, we are not anxious because of events, but because of how we think about them. So could it be that your anxiety isn't from the world, but from how you're reacting to it? Are you trying to control someone else's thoughts? Are you fearing a future that hasn't arrived? Are you forcing yourself to be okay when you're not? Marcus Aurelius, emperor of an empire, once wrote, "Don't waste energy on what you can't change. Use it to do what is right within your hands." Think about yesterday. How many minutes were spent worrying? And what did it change? Instead of pushing anxiety away, let it guide you. Every time anxiety appears, use it as a sign. I've lost connection with myself. I need to step back, to reflect. I'm letting the outside dictate my peace. You don't need to solve everything. You don't need to be modded in every moment. You just need to stay steady and not be swept away. Like the Stoics, they didn't live to avoid anxiety. They live to walk through it and emerge stronger. Part 6, self-mastery isn't a destination. It's the way to... When you master emotion, you don't just tame anxiety, you reshape how you live. And more importantly, you stop letting the world define your state of mind. Seneca wrote, it's not because things are hard that we don't try. It's because we don't try that things become hard. Your anxiety isn't weakness. It's an invitation, a doorway to return to yourself, instead of blaming the world. Remember this, you're not too sensitive. You just haven't yet learned how to feel calmly. Marcus Aurelius, in War, Rebellion, and Death, still wrote with unnerving clarity, if something is beyond your control, let it go. If it's in your hands, do what's right. The rest is peace. You don't have to become cold. You just have to become someone who doesn't let emotion rule your life. If this video touched something in you, don't hesitate to subscribe to Stoic Bloom. Here, we don't just speak philosophy, we live it. Each video is a quiet space to return to yourself. If you often find yourself caught in emotional loops, comment below, what's something that's been weighing on you lately? Your insight today could be the light for someone else's darkness. And if you haven't hit like yet, maybe this video gently touched you, but not deeply enough to stay, then let the like button be a promise. I choose to master my response, starting now. Stoic Bloom. Peace isn't about escaping emotion. It's learning to face it and not collapse.